Welcome to Recovery Radio with Mr. G, the recovery broker, right here on WEHA, Gospel 88.7 and 99.9 FM, your number one station, where our goal is to help save a life in a world plagued by drugs, alcohol, suicide, depression, and addiction.
Good morning, my listening audience. Welcome to Recovery Life Radio. I'm Mr. G, your recovery broker. Right here on the station for information, 88.7 and 99.9 on the FM dial. We're here to share our experience, strength, and hope. The hope of helping someone who's lost, scared, afraid, addicted, baffled, and confused, to show you that there is a way out. And we would like to bring you information and send you to the proper resources and facilities that help you overcome that which overwhelm you. Today we're going to be sharing with the gentleman about peer-to-peer recovery. Robin, who was our guest for today?
Thank you, Mr. G. Today we have Chris McCumber, and he's coming to us from Hope All Day. And just so you know, we're coming to you from recoveryliferadio.com. All of the broadcasts today will be put onto our website. And if you miss any bit of information that our guest gives you, which will be his email, his contact, his website, no fear. If you go onto our website, all of the contact information will be there, making it very easy for you to utilize these resources. So again, Mr. G, we have Chris McCumber from Hope All Day. And why don't you introduce Chris and tell him about us, Mr. G?
All right. Thank you, Rob. We have the CEO and the founder of Hope All Day. I know him as Chris. Chris, it's really a pleasure to have you here, Chris.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes,
it's great to be here.
I know that's right, Chris. Chris, you know, we think about where the journey of life and the process in which we have been through these many years. And to have you sitting across from me today is absolutely a pleasure and a delight, and I want you to know that. Chris, for the listening audience, who is Hope All Day?
Well, the Hope All Day Recovery Center is a 10,000 square foot peer-to-peer recovery community center, and we provide programs, projects, and services for those struggling with substance abuse. And our goal is to advocate and sustain long-term recovery.
Beautiful. Exactly. What inspired you to begin this journey?
Well, again, I am a person in long-term recovery, and what that means is I haven't had a minor mood-altering substance in 13 years,
I know that's right.
11 months, and 2 days.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
How many minutes, Chris?
Yeah.
Happy about the whole thing, right?
Well, coming from where I come from, and we talk about the Hope All Day, and this is hope. You know, this is being here with you, Candy. This is hope. You know, I mean, there's our greatest commodity.
Yes.
It's hope.
Hope, yes. And I'm loving it, Chris. I'm telling you, man. You know, for those people that is out there, our listening audience, if you don't think that this thing works, I can testify, and I also have a witness to when you give yourself over and give yourself a chance, there is another way of life. And I'm hoping that our listening audience, that we can reach you for you to understand that you are not, life is not over, but it's just begun. I thoroughly believe that one of my greatest assets is my past. I'm not afraid of my past. My past is afraid of me today. And I believe that is what I'm looking at in front of me today, looking at you, Chris, because the things you're involved in the community, I'm telling you, man, it just does my heart good to know that, you know, we're on this journey together, reaching out to the surrounding communities and being able to give something back to something that we once destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, the reality of it is that people have this stigma that's attached to substance abuse and addiction, that we're going to live and die in our active addiction and we're not going to be able to prosper. And, and we enter into this state of hopelessness, like there's no solution. And that's the farthest thing from the truth.
Farthest thing from the truth.
Hey, Chris, I have a question for you. I want to go to the Hope All Day Recovery. Where can I find you guys at?
We are at 600 South Odessa Avenue in Galloway, right off of Tilton Road.
Great.
Fantastic. That's a good location, Chris.
Yeah.
I was out there, and the facility was fantastic.
It's beautiful.
I love the facility, man. Chris, what are some of the qualities that make that facility different than others that we're familiar with?
Okay, so I'll give you a little history. In the state of New Jersey, there is actually we are the 4th peer-to-peer recovery community center. And peer-to-peer is basically people in recovery helping people in recovery. And one of the things that separates the Hope All Day Recovery Center from the others is that we don't take no state or federal funding. We are a pure grassroots, selfless service facility that we have a 3-panel board, 2 officers of the corporation, a 10-panel steering committee, 48 volunteers, and nobody gets paid. We're open every day, all day, from 9 to extended hours. We have 16 to 17 12-step meetings that meet at our facility. We have 5 programs of our own. And since our opening last year, May 1st, we have about 1,000 people a week come through our facility.
Fantastic.
Wow. Good stuff.
We're getting anywhere from 2 to 3 people a week into treatment. We have a family program
Beautiful, man.
also.
Beautiful. You know what? With that being said, I don't want the listening audience to have the misconception of thinking that we don't need some type of backing for that program to continue
That's right.
and even to grow.
That's right.
So for my listening audience, if you would like to be a part of making a contribution or a donation to his organization, Rob, would you please give him this information?
Well, I think Chris is going to have the information for his own
You can go to
organization, please.
www.hopeallday.org, and you can click on the donate button and donate. We run solely off of donations, in-kind contributions,
Beautiful.
and fundraising events.
As we do, Mr. G.
Yes.
As we do.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And there's
You know, what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
that's exactly
You
right.
know.
Yes.
And there's plenty of resources out there, and that's what we're doing here on Recovery Life Radio. Again, we're www.Recovery Life Radio, and we're bringing to you, we're hubbing together resources such as Chris's resources for people who just don't know where to go. They don't know these resources are out here.
Exactly.
In these 5 weeks worth of programming, Mr. G, I mean, we've had about a dozen guests on
Yes.
that have given us resources and avenues that I never knew existed. And I mean, from Police Explorers to YAP, and now we have Chris here, and we always have Crossroads that's on our program, which is our sponsor today. And there's just so much out there for people, and it's great to hear the message and what's available.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is. It's good to have a coalition of people working together for a common purpose.
That's right.
You know, and the beautiful part of this whole thing is, man, Cliff, my desire for this program setting and to be able to do what I do today was to have people such as yourself come on the program and elaborate and explain to people that there is places that you can go get the necessary help that you're needed. For an example, I had just this past week offered this program, Chris, and I know you have testimony of your own facility. I have had 3 people to call in reference to getting into different program settings, whether it was a detox or whatever. I thank God, man, that I have connections through the power of information.
That's right.
To be able to give these people the necessary guidance. You know, of course, we make a way for them. We give them guidance. We make the contact for them.
Right.
It's up to that individual to know that we can do all that we can do for you, but you're going to have to do something for yourself in order for things to change. You know, so that's where your facility come in, Chris.
Yes. I mean, let's face it. There's the truth of the matter. There's a huge heroin epidemic in our
Yes,
country
it is.
today.
Yes.
I believe that the overdose count is just unbelievable. Every time you turn the news on, every time you look at Facebook, every time you look at social media, somebody's family member is posting something about someone a loved one that passed away.
Passed away.
You know, we have a huge responsibility to collaborate together.
Yes.
Shows like this show, agencies like the Hope All Day Recovery Center, some of the stuff that we're doing. I mean, there's so many more advocates out there that are trying to provide resources and avenues for people to get treatment and find treatment.
The help is out there.
The help is out there.
Yes,
Thank
it is.
God.
Hey, Chris, you know, I'm going to want you to tell us a little more about some of the services that your program offers. But before we do that, we're going to take a little station break. Listen, you're listening to Recovery Life Radio. I'm Mr. G, your recovery broker. And we want you guys to stick around and stay right there. We're going to come back with Chris once again, and of course, my right-hand man, Mr. Rob.
That's me here with Hope All
And we
Day.
are going to give you as much information as we reasonably possible and that we can find here in this area, in the Atlantic County area. As Chris has already elaborated on, there's so many things that's going on in our community, in the news, and the internet. We see that this epidemic is running rampant. So stick around. We're going to come right back with you and let Chris expound a little bit more with the experience, strength, and hope. Welcome back, my listening audience. Thank you for being there. Once again, we're going to go to the founder and CEO, Chris. Rob, was there something that you wanted to ask Chris?
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. G. I heard you talking, Chris, from Hope All Day, that there's a peer-to-peer system in place. And most of the time I hear about recovery or people talking to people, I hear about professional psychologists and all psychiatry. And I know that people in addiction sometimes don't react well because they feel like they don't relate. What exactly is peer-to-peer, and how do you feel that process really helps somebody open up and relate to where they're at? Because I think we all want to feel like we're being heard.
Yes, absolutely. And I can only go by my experience. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. You know, being a person in long-term recovery, I got clean, and you know, some of the resources that were available to me was 12-step fellowship. So I did what was suggested. So as a recovering person, and some of the listening audience can tell, 12-step programs work.
Yes,
right?
they do, yes.
We know that. We know
Yes.
treatment programs work. Treatment is education and information.
That's correct.
But we don't recover in treatment. We recover in our communities.
Exactly.
Right? So
Like
after
that
a
with
lot
Chris.
of years of working in the treatment field, watching the revolving door, people coming and going,
Staying recovered,
you know,
staying clean is hard.
yeah. So I started, one of the things that I did a lot of, I was a traveling person in recovery. So I went to a lot of different places, and I've seen a lot of different things, all in the name of carrying this message of hope and this promise of freedom that, you know, if you are struggling with a substance use disorder, you can get clean.
Yes.
And not only can you get clean, but you can stay clean.
Stay clean.
That's
And you
it.
can enjoy life, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? So for a bunch of years, I even went as far as to buy a conversion van. And I would pick up a lot of young people in recovery in the area where I got clean.
God bless you.
And we will go to a lot of different meetings and things of that nature, different clean and sober events, and have fun, and, you know, show these kids that there's a life beyond drugs and alcohol.
That's
And not
correct.
only that there's a life beyond the lifestyle, too.
Yes.
Because, you know, there's a stigma that's attached to that lifestyle. You know, because if the drugs don't get you,
That's right, Chris.
sooner or later, the
That's right.
lifestyle
Agreed.
will.
Agreed.
So one of the things that happened for me was I started to see that there was still, even though treatment works and 12-step programs work, there's still a gap in between. Where do they go in between? So if a 19-year-old heroin addict leaves treatment at 9 o'clock in the morning and there's no 12-step meetings and there's no IOP yet, where do they go?
Good question.
So that's the need that I wanted to provide.
I love that, Chris.
I wanted to provide
Yes.
a place all day,
Yes.
every day.
Hope all day.
Hope all day, not
know
just
that's
an
right.
hour and
I know
a
that's
half.
right, yeah.
You know
All
what I
day,
mean?
yeah.
So some things started to change in my personal life as well, and I started to have a different calling on my life, and I wanted to do something different.
Yes.
And I took a business trip to Florida in 2006. And when I got there, it was a construction-related job, and I had some people that worked for me at the time, and they were struggling with substance abuse. And so I said to my friend, I said, let's go to this 12-step meeting, And we went to this place, and it was this big facility that they had turned into a peer-to-peer recovery center.
Beautiful.
And that's when God plucked my heart, and I knew that something had to be done here in South Jersey. And it took some time. It took a lot of years. I
God
came
bless
back,
you, man.
I came back home after that job, and that stuck with me. And then some years later, I ended up opening up a sober living house for a good friend of mine, Jennifer Hansen, who has the Serenity House here in this area. And we opened up a men's house. And I got to interview a bunch of young guys to move into this house. And they came on, and we started going to a lot of meetings. And I developed relationships with some of their parents, which is really, we can... When addicts and alcoholics have an external motivation, legal problems, probation, parole, then they're willing to do some things. But when those external motivations go away, sometimes we forget.
They have some extra time.
They have some extra time. So, something happened along the way, and a few of these kids got thrown out. And I had a conversation with one of the mothers, and she said, Chris, there's no place for these kids to go right now. And I think one of the kids had gotten thrown out of the house. I forget the exact details, but he got thrown out, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And his mom called me, and she said, I'm coming down to pick him up and take him to a meeting. And I said, well, there's no meeting right now.
Hey, Chris, can I say something to you?
Sure.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I actually reflect back on my past. And it was a very lonely journey, because under the lash of that disease, it puts you in a place of loneliness,
Hopeless.
And, hopeless. You feel that way. And you really the disease, the stinking thinking, as I would describe it as, it convinced me that there was nowhere for me to go. Whether I was coming from institutions or a facility, once I had time on the street alone, it was idle time. That was one of my greatest challenges.
Yeah, what do you do in between meetings?
What do you do in between meetings? And for your facility, it is so desperately needed in this area. I wish that you can also expand your facility to the Atlantic City area, because that would be a fantastic thing.
There was some talks of that, so that may be in the future.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
It sounds to me like, Chris, that Hope All Day is almost a recovery clubhouse. I don't want to say anything that's disrespectful, but it sounds like you guys you have the right place, you're doing the right thing with the right people, and for people who did the wrong thing with the wrong place with the wrong people, the outcome was obvious. And it sounds like, again, you're like almost a recovery clubhouse. And as Mr. G said, where do you go where you fit in with people who truly understand you? Hope all day is what I would say.
All day.
All day, every day.
That's every day. I like the way he's put the spin to it. It's not all day, it's every day. Yeah. So those of you that's trying to find a solution and you have a problem that you think you can't solve, whether you're court restricted, mandated by whatever process there is, we want you to know that instead of spending time alone on the street without anywhere to go, we want you to go to Hope All Day.
And you can find all these resources at our www.recoveryliferadio.com. And that's what we're trying to do here, guys. We're like the Google for recovery. If you're not sure of the area resources that are available, please use our website. And we have all hyperlinks that'll direct you to Hope All Day and to other resources in the area. We've had some guests on.
Absolutely.
All our guests' information. Chris has provided us with his information for Hope All Day, and he's going to tell you it again at the end. But don't forget, if you're driving in your car, don't grab a pen. We'll have all this stuff on our website for you, so you won't miss a thing. And Mr. G, tell us about Hope All Day. I'd love to hear a story, because we had one last week, and this touched my heart, of how your Hope All Day recovery. I don't want to say recovery house, because I know it's peer-to-peer, but some of the success stories you've had, I'd love to hear them. Mr. G, what do you think?
Listen, before we go into that, Chris, I'm going to let you elaborate on that. I want to share something with you. I had the experience yesterday. I was sharing with you at the pre-show. I was talking to a young man. He must have been about 18 or 19 years of age, and he said to me, I mentioned your name, and I mentioned Hope All Day, and I told him you would be the guest here today, and he said to me, he got excited. He said, oh, Chris, what a powerful message. I said to myself, to myself, not to him. I said to myself, if you only knew why it was so powerful. You know, so you are a true testament to this process working.
Yes, absolutely.
And to hear young people look upon that, they don't know where we come from. They have no idea. You know, they are in the struggle, and we're trying to prevent the pain.
That's right. And I think that if we look at society in general, a lot of these younger kids, they grow up with the idea that drinking and drugging is cool and the lifestyle is fun and all that stuff. And little do they know that later on down the road, you know, getting high and having fun turns into pain and consequence.
That's correct.
You know, then it's no longer fun, and you know, it's a sad place to be.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, you know what? I have a question for you. Is it the judge's fault?
Never.
No. Wait, well, let me put it like this.
Yeah.
It's probation's fault. They did this to me.
I can't believe that cop caught me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You telling me I'm supposed to do what I want to do when I don't want to do it?
Yeah.
There's no consequences?
And you know, the longer I stay in this recovery thing, and the more work I do on myself, and start to take a look at what we're doing as advocates for recovery. You know, my strong suit is relating to younger people in recovery.
Yes.
So I come from, you know, I have a few things. Recovery's blessed me with a couple Cadillacs, and I got some nice clothes.
You got
and
stuff,
and that
Chris.
can be the
Man, I
attraction
want to be like you when I grow up.
to younger people in recovery, because they think that, I mean, could you imagine? You couldn't tell me when I was 19 years old that I needed to stay clean and sober for the rest of my life without going to the bar when I was 21.
That's right.
I mean, now these kids are 19-year-old IV heroin. The bottoms come up way faster than my
Way
bottom
faster,
ever came up.
yes.
You know, you couldn't tell me that. I wasn't open to it, you know. But now, today, my goal is if we can make recovery cool
Yes.
Yeah.
for younger kids, then
I'm
they'll
loving
want
it.
to stay.
Yes, I'm loving it.
If we can make it so there's dances and clean and sober activities, we have open mic nights, we do dance parties, we do guitar night, we do open mic night. You know, these are some of the things that we make available. We have horseshoe tournaments, volleyball tournaments.
Clean fun.
Clean fun. We have a 3.5-mile cart path. You can come and bring your bike. You can take a walk. You know, you could take a bike ride. And these are all things that create a sense of healthy well-being.
Yes.
You know, and that's the kind of stuff that some of these younger kids need to know that they can do.
Chris, that's beautiful. Rob, tell the listening audience exactly how they can contact us once again.
Absolutely. We are www.recoveryliferadio.com. And unlike Chris, we don't have a whole bunch of Cadillacs laying around. So if you want to make a donation to keep this show on the air,
Give him my
I'm
address,
going to give
Rob.
you Mr. G's information. 'Cause you can send us a Cadillac, too. You can send us a couple bucks to keep our airtime on.
Yes,
Deliverance of Truth is who you're going to send that donation to. That's at P.O. Box 51, and that's in Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08401. And again, we have a donation section on our website, so if you miss any of this information, don't worry. And, you know, we're going to take Chris's Cadillac otherwise and pawn that. You know, Chris, I understand and appreciate you told us, and you know, you might want to talk about when we come back from a break, but you had a Hope Fest 2015. Mr. G, what was that Hope Fest?
Well, we're going to hold on to that Hope Fest for a minute and thought. Chris, right now what we want to do, we want to recognize our sponsor. I'm so glad to have Crossroads right here in Egg Harbor Township.
Mike DeMarco, my man.
Mr. Mike
Yes,
DeMarco as a
yes.
sponsor, because he's the one that brought us together.
Yes.
You know, he does a lot back there. He's also doing a lot for
Great
me here
program.
on the station. Yes,
Great
it is.
program.
So my listening audience, stay tuned to it. We're going to come right back once again with the CEO of Hope All Day, Mr. Chris.
Know someone with a drug problem? Do you feel as if you are alone and there is no solution to your problem? There is help for you. Tune in to Recovery Life Radio with Mr. G every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Know someone with a drug problem? Do you feel as if you are alone and there is no solution to your problem? There is help for you. Tune in to Recovery Life Radio with Mr. G every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Welcome back to Recovery Life Radio. Once again, I'm Mr. G. We are having a very, very interesting conversation with the CEO of Recovery Hope All Day, located right here in Egg Harbor Township. It's a new facility of 14 months, I think, Chris. You've been there?
Yeah, almost a year. May 1st will be a year.
May 1st will be a year, and I'm telling you, to my listening audience, please get out and spend some time out there.
Hope All Day with Chris
All
Malcolm.
Day. I like the way it sounds. Hey, Chris, tell the listening audience, from what you see, what have you witnessed from the program being there with some of the people that comes to that facility?
Well, not only we're in the business of hope. That's my thing. I was hopeless. I was helpless and hopeless, and when I got clean, I didn't have anything. I was destitute. So the hope shot in all this is I went from DOC to CEO.
I know that.
How does that happen?
I'm loving it.
DOC to CEO. I like that.
So recovery works.
That's what it does.
Recovery works.
Yes.
But a lot of people suffering from substance abuse disorders, it's hard for them to reach out and this and that. But I think one of the components that we provide a great service for is the families.
Yes.
Not only are we providing a place for 12-step meetings for people in recovery to come and commiserate and socialize, and we have a full cafe, we have a full commercial kitchen, we have a pool tables, ping pong tables.
10,000 square feet. I've seen it. It's beautiful out there.
And
Absolutely beautiful.
We have gym equipment and all that stuff. But what about mom and dad? Mom and dad and grandmama and grandpa, and they're watching their loved ones just kill themselves.
Sure.
And they're watching
Dwindle away.
all the destruction happen in their lives. So not only do people struggling with substance abuse disorders feel helpless and hopeless, but so does the families.
Yes.
And there's places for families to go and get
Sure,
help. 'Cause
Al-Anon,
addiction, we treat the whole illness. We don't just treat the person afflicted. The goal is everybody gets information and everybody gets healthy. Because it's a family illness. It's a family dynamic. So we have a family program on Sunday nights from 6:30 to 8. Anybody can come out. It's free.
Beautiful.
And I want to reiterate that all our services are free. It doesn't cost you anything to
That's
come
why
to
we
Hope
need
All
your
Day.
support for Hope All Day.
It's free.
Yes.
Hope is free.
Be a part of
It's
it,
the
please.
greatest commodity we have.
Yes, man.
So when mom and dad are sitting around and the rings are missing again and the jewelry's missing again and it used to be a VCR, but now I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
Now it's the stuff's missing. It's the computers, the laptops sold again, the phones sold again. What do the parents do? They're at the end of their road.
Well, that's why we've hugged these resources. I mean,
Absolutely.
Again, as Mr. G and I have spoke, these resources, most people that are under the lash, as Mr. G says, and in this addiction, really don't have the ability to hear the message of where the resources are. So they really depend on their family members that hopefully hear a radio show like this, where the resources are all hubbed together at www.recoveryliferadio.com. And just real quick for our listeners, we have moved to the 10 a.m. slot, not the 10:30 slot. We'll be broadcasting here every Thursday at 10 a.m. And again, our website is www.recoveryliferadio.com. And we're here with Chris Malcolm from Hope All Day. And Chris also has a website at www.hopeallday.org. And all this information will be on our website. So if you miss anything, Mr. G, tell them how to get to us.
Okay. Just go to the website, please. And listen, I want you to do me a favor out there, my listening audience. I want you to support Hope All Day. I'm truly touched and inspired by this young man's passion for what he does, you know. And speaking of some of the things that he spoke of, you know, the family concern, the mother, the grandmother, the aunt that had someone in the family that's addicted to something and don't know where to go, don't know that there's a place for them in life. For the young man that's looking for the Cadillacs, it's not the only way to get in the Cadillacs is not by selling drugs or alcohol.
That's right.
That is not the solution. Anything is possible when we put a little work in. So we want you guys to understand something, that if you work towards a common goal, you're going to reap the rewards of it. Is that right, Chris?
That's right.
Chris, tell us a little something else about some of the young people that you have experience with.
Well, what happened, we witnessed a lot of really neat things happen at the Recovery Center so far. You know, and I had struggled for quite some time. You know, me and my wife is also a person in long-term recovery. She just celebrated 10 years.
God bless her.
Congratulations.
Yes, and she's an occupational therapist at Ancora for the criminally insane.
Criminally insane. That's
which
me.
makes me, I'm in good hands.
Yeah, yes, you are.
You know? So, but we came together, and after this little incident happened with this young man getting thrown out of that recovery house some years ago, maybe the end of 2011, beginning of 2012, I said to my wife, we got to do something, you know. And she said, whatever you want to do. So me and my wife, we sat down and we made a plan, and we came up with a financial budget that we were willing to put out. And we got a lawyer, and we got an accountant, and we formed the Hope All Day Foundation, because we didn't have brick and mortar, but we had a great idea, and we had some well-intended people, and we wanted to help. We just wanted to help. You know, that's what we want to do.
That's where it starts.
I'm a guy. I'm a firm believer in that there is hope out there. You know, my life is a testimony of hope. So me and my wife set out and we started the foundation, and we struggled for about 3 years, and a lot of doors got closed in my face. But I just kept persevering because I believed that God put this on my heart to do this. You know, we kept persevering, and we even did some fundraisers without brick and mortar. You know, and I would go to places and tell them about what we wanted to do, and people would say, great, call us when you get a building, you know. And we just kept working hard. And some people in recovery also, Jennifer Hansen from the Hansen Foundation and her father, Roger.
Great advocates.
They are great, and they offered to help us. And that's how we ended up getting our facility last year. And, you know, so probably 3 days after our grand opening happened, a young lady walked into our facility, and she might have been maybe 80 pounds soaking wet. And she had lost all 3 of her kids, and you know, we were still setting everything up. And one of the things that's happened for me over the years is I had worked in treatment for a lot of years, so I had some access to people. And you know, people, when you're in recovery and you're introduced to people, and they have people that they'll introduce you to that you would have never thought you'd have access to, and you know, so we ended up getting her into treatment, and that was almost a year ago. So this young lady today is still clean. She still participates in her own.
How much does she weigh now? Did she
I
get her
don't
weight
know.
up? Did she get her weight up?
I don't want to say it on the radio.
Okay. You get kicked out, you get kicked out.
Yeah, so, but she got all 3 of her kids back.
Beautiful.
God bless her.
She has a job. You know, she's a stay-at-home. She's a full-time mom at home, and she's working and got her own apartment and got her kids back. Those are
these resources work.
That it works. You know, now she comes back to the recovery center and volunteers.
Beautiful. Chris, you know what's amazing, as you were sharing about you and your wife, you know, when you have a passion for something, nobody can stop you.
Mm-hmm.
The road is not easy, but it can be traveled.
That's right.
I have a similar story. I'm going to share something with you. I'm on Social Security. My passion for doing what I do today, it started with a Social Security income. Willing to make a sacrifice.
That's right.
You and I are true witnesses that with purpose, we can overcome anything, man.
That's right.
That's what I hear. I hear more of that coming out of you that I can relate to. And I needed to hear that for myself.
I mean, where's all the people that we grew up with, Gandy?
Yeah, man.
Where they all at?
Either in jail or dead, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things waiting for me back out there on the streets, and that's a court date or a coffin.
You better know it. You know what? That's why I'm actually proud to have you sitting across from me today, man. I'm telling you, it just does my heart good because it knows that this common purpose, man, we see something, and I like the very fact that your equation has always included God.
Mm-hmm.
Not my intellect.
That's
See,
right.
I can't intellectualize anything. I'm too smart for my darn self. That's been my problem for many years. That had all the answers with no answers.
Yeah.
But when you surrender to the process, something happens in your life.
That's right.
Because who would have thought that you would be sitting here as CEO?
And we'd be having this conversation.
And you and I would be...
Is that the hope
listen,
shot?
listen, that's real hope right there. Especially when you know we came from
That's right.
a bunch of dope.
Yeah, that's right.
And we sit here today clean and sober. Now, if I'm not inspired, if I'm not excited about this,
Yeah, that's the hope.
man, that's the hope, man.
I'm still trying to figure out how you did this on the Social Security check. I'm befuddled. And
So am I.
While I'm there, guys, I'm just going to throw the donation factor back in there so Mr. G doesn't have to finance it on his Social Security dollar. If you'd like to support our program, you can do so by sending donations to Deliverance of Truth at P.O. Box 51, and that's Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08401. And again, all this information is on www.recoveryliferadio.com.
Give us the time again, Rob.
Our timing has switched from the 10:30 spot. We're at prime time at 10 a.m. now. So at 10 a.m. our program is being broadcasted, not 10:30 a.m. And I think we're going to hear a commercial break from our sponsor, Crossroads, which is a great advocate of our program.
Yes, just in 1 moment. Chris, when we come back, I want you to give your listening audience a little more information about it. How could they become a part of your organization?
Absolutely.
Hope
Yeah.
all day.
And I want to hear about that Hope Fest. Hope Fest sounds like a ball to me. Hope Fest 2015. So when we get back with Mr. G, we'll
All
go
right.
over the Hope Fest and the fun and the shenanigans that go on at a recovery party.
Beautiful. Chris, I know it's going to be an exciting day, but we can't wait to hear what you have to say. We'll be right back. I'm Mr. G, your recovery broker.
Have you considered WEHA for your announcements and broadcasts? We can be heard on 88.7.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Know someone with a drug problem? Do you feel as if you are alone and there is no solution to your problem? There is help for you. Tune in to Recovery Life Radio with Mr. G every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Thank you once again. I'm Mr. G. Thank you, my listening audience. Be patient with us. We're trying to give you guys as much information and inspire as many people as we can. Now, we want to talk to the grandmother, the mother, the fatherless. If you see a need for the program Hope All Day and its purpose, and you'd like to be a part of it, you don't have to be an addict or a drug addict or someone who's mentally disturbed and none of that. Mm-hmm. We want the common man that has a reason to be a part of watching people's lives change. We want you to contact that facility. So they are definitely in need of volunteer services, because everyone out there, I think you said, Chris, is volunteered. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you can really use as much help as you can just from the surrounding public, from the general public at large. So if you guys would like to be a part of that and be a part of changing people's lives, contact Chris. Chris, contact information. Give it to him once again, Chris.
609-379-2582 is the Recovery Center phone number, and you can speak with Anna Mullins. She is our program coordinator at the Recovery Center. You can go to www.hopeallday.org.
Beautiful.
And check us out.
Beautiful. Hey, Chris, if someone wanted to find some more in detail information about their organization, exactly where would they go? What would they do?
You can find out most of the information about our organization is on the website, but the best way to do it, Mr. G, is to come out to the Recovery Center. Come check us out, 600 South Odessa Avenue.
See it for yourself.
Come see what we're doing out there.
See hope at work.
And the reality of it is in today's society, I don't think I know anybody who hasn't been afflicted with somebody struggling with substance abuse.
We all know
That's right.
somebody.
We all know somebody
yes.
who's been
If not
stricken
personally.
with this tragedy
That's
of
right.
addiction.
You're not alone.
Nobody's exempt.
Nobody's exempt.
You
And
know?
nobody's alone either.
But there is a solution.
Oh, yes, there is.
There is a solution. There is hope.
Yes, it is. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And your facility provides a lot of that, because I know firsthand experience that I have witnessed people going to your program. I had a young man sitting in a meeting with me this morning, and I'm telling you, I never heard the man speak so inspiring and had such a sound message this morning as he did today.
Was that me, Mr. J?
He was describing some hope, you
right.
see, and he got the hope from being around people with hope.
That's right.
You know, this thing's contagious.
Yeah. There's nothing
There's no
like,
question about it.
It's nothing like witnessing someone that is physically detoxing and feels hopeless and got all the stuff on their back that we carry with us when we're, the lack of responsibility and, we don't pay bills, we don't do what we're supposed to do, and, things that come with the lifestyle of an addicted person. And the sadness that comes with that, and there's nothing like witnessing those people come out of that and start to feel hope that their lives can get better, and they can actually get a job. That's one of the things that we do at the Recovery Center too. Become employable, because we have 4 computer stations, and some of the advocates at our Recovery Center will help you get online, and you can fill out resumes. We do resume writing classes. We even have a moms program, and it stands for Making Our Moms Stronger, and it's 10:30 on Wednesday mornings at the Recovery Center.
Nice.
We have about 15 to 20 mothers that bring their children, and it's a peer-to-peer recovery class, and it's just moms getting together and talking about what it's like to be new in recovery, what it's like to be a mother in recovery, because sometimes taking your children to meetings can be cumbersome. We don't want to disrupt the atmosphere of recovery. So we've provided this space, toys for the kids and food and things of that nature, so moms feel a little more comfortable, and they can still get that peer-to-peer interaction and start to feel confident about recovering.
Yeah, I love that. It made me think of so many mothers that they would take their children without sometime even being aware of the fact to buy these drugs and alcohols. All right, take them to designated areas to pick up what they needed to destroy their lives. So what we want you to do, that same mother that used to do that, now that you realize it, we want you to bring your children out to a recovery center called Hope All Day, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you also to be a part of it, because one thing about the disease, not only is the person that's using the drug or the mind-altering substance ill, so are those and the family. So I like the very fact that your program is geared family-orientated, to where the whole family can be healed, working together, identifying the problem, getting the right information and the right treatment. Hope All Day is a very beautiful facility to go to.
And we're here with Chris McCumber, who is the CEO and founder of Hope All Day. And he's given us a little experience, strength, and hope of exactly what it is that Hope All Day offers. And again, we were just talking, Mr. G and I today, about the young kids in recovery in their 20s that never had the opportunity to grow, and they don't know where to go. Once again, staying sober is really the trick. Getting sober, none of it's easy, but staying sober is the key. And it sounds like, again, you formed a little clubhouse for recovery where people can comfortably kind of congregate and talk to other people that are in similar situations and hopefully work their problems out. And with those computer resource centers and with people helping them put job applications together, you know, I've heard in this program that you stop maturing from the time you start using. So you're kind of stuck. A lot of people, you know, I hear it over and over, 15, 16, 17, 8, 10. But, I mean, if you could imagine having a 14-year-old's, I don't want to say IQ, but maturity level, and you're trying to work through the process without any real tools. Well, now you know where the tools are. They're at Hope all day, and that's exactly what Chris is trying to provide. Am I saying that correctly, Chris?
Yeah, and you know, let's take a look at the healthcare system today. It's so hard to navigate, even to get into treatment. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about getting into treatment.
I've been on the healthcare website.
Let's say you are ready. Let's say you are ready. And most time addicts and alcoholics are ready when they're sick.
Yes.
Okay, you're sick. You know, and you
Or in
reach
jail.
out. You have a little bit of willingness at that moment. You have a moment of clarity, and you reach out. And most don't have insurance. Some do, but the healthcare system is so diluted right now. It's hard for a normal person that's not under the influence to navigate. I have mothers and fathers that call us and come and have paid into high premiums into their insurance companies for their children, and they're not covered.
That's correct.
You know, it's unbelievable what's happening in the whole realm of that. But I don't want to get off on that tangent, but what I want to do is, what we provide is, because if you walk into a treatment facility, and let's say you do have insurance, and you have an insurance card, and you walk in, and whatever specific facility you walk into, if they don't accept your insurance, if it's out of network or they don't accept it, they're not going to spend the time to call somebody up someplace else.
And we know that firsthand.
And we know that firsthand.
You better believe it.
One of the things that happens at the recovery center is if you come, and we're not going to stop trying to help you, and you can stay in a safe environment all day. If it takes 2 days,
makes a difference.
Come back tomorrow and stay again. We're going to work as much as we can. We work close with the Atlantic County Alliances. We work close with Bob Wittitz from the Substance Abuse Alliance here for county funding, and Doug Mercer, and they're very, very helpful for us to try to help get a lot of, because I would say probably 8 out of 10 people that come to us seeking treatment don't have insurance.
Don't have insurance.
I think it's important too for people to know. On the break, you mentioned you're self-supporting, and you are not a government-funded program.
No.
And you're only donation-driven.
Yes.
So it's important to support Chris here. Because,
in-kind contributions. We do fundraising events.
His Cadillac needs gas.
No, my Cadillac's paid for, but the recovery center needs all the support it can get.
Beautiful. Chris, when you was talking about the detox here in New Jersey, I was doing some studying the other day in reference to that because like I stated earlier, we're trying to get some facilities for 3 young ladies to enter, and it's been a challenge.
To say the least.
In the state of New Jersey, there's only 2 charitable detoxes.
Really? What are they?
So when you spoke of insurance, it is so important that we let our government know, because of the lack of insurance, people are still staying in addiction. And here's the harsh reality: they really have nowhere else to go.
That's right.
So who picks up the slack?
That's right.
The judicial system.
Yes.
They're
Right.
going to pay
It's
eventually.
unfortunately that the most time people are receiving help today in our society is because they have been convicted, incarcerated, or designated to those facilities through a facility.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And I think that
That is unfortunate.
there's a huge gap in our assessment process.
Yes, it is.
You know, there's a big gap there in who needs substance abuse treatment. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in jails. We need prisons to house criminals. People are criminals.
Of course.
Why are you staring at me, Chris?
we don't want to lock up regular
Matter of fact,
people.
all 3 of us were one.
Look at me.
But you know, when people struggle with a substance abuse disorder, it's a health crisis. It's a health issue. It's a disorder. You know, chemical dependency is a maladaptive pattern of drug use leading to impairment of distress. And you know, we can, as people in recovery, as myself, I can say, hey, you know, we can help you get some treatment. But when you look at what's taken, this is one of the things that we're going to talk about at the Hope Fest, the recovery rally that's coming up on Memorial Day weekend in May.
Tell us about that, Chris. I'm dying to hear about this.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But I just want to talk a little bit about the benefits of having the recovery center open all day, every day. Even the parents and even adolescents can come to our facility. We're not bound by any state regulations because adolescents are using adolescents are using just like adults are using.
That's correct.
I went there the other day. I still have a job. I have a business that I run, a construction company. So I do this and that.
Yes.
God bless you.
And so I went by the recovery center a couple of weeks ago, and there was 15 kids downstairs playing ping pong and pool and drinking coffee. And,
that's what it's about.
Yeah, and just staying out of trouble.
Just staying out of trouble.
Some of them were actually online on the computers and
Looking for jobs.
looking for stuff, and maybe playing on Facebook. Who knows? But
But they were sober.
But they were clean, and they weren't getting in any trouble.
How did that make you feel, man?
Oh, man.
God bless you. And again,
that's
we're here with Hope All Day and Chris McCumber. If I say it wrong, let me know. CEO of Hope All Day, and we are www.recoveryliferadio.com. And again, if you'd like to donate to this program, please send it to Deliverance of Truth at P.O. Box 51 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08401. Mr. G, take us away.
Listen, my listening audience, we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to hear the closing remarks from Mr. Chris, the CEO of Hope All Day.
I want to hear about this Hope Fest.
I'm excited. I'm just excited to have him before me. So hang in there. We'll be back with you. Come back. Hey, Chris, I'm loving you.
Know someone with a drug problem? Do you feel as if you are alone and there is no solution to your problem? There is help for you. Tune in to Recovery Life Radio with Mr. G every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Imagine all the stress and burnout you feel were replaced with natural, reliable peace and calm. Imagine you could trade in the pill that gets you through your day for real wellness. Now imagine how you get there. A peaceful place where individualized treatment and professional care help you feel like yourself again.
Behavioral Crossroads Outpatient Detox. Call us at 877-645-2502 or behavioralcrossroads.com.
Know someone with a drug problem? Do you feel as if you are alone and there is no solution to your problem? There is help for you. Tune in to Recovery Life Radio with Mr. G every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Once again, you're back with Mr. G. I'm a recovery broker. Listen, we have Chris here, the CEO of Hope All Day, and I'm telling you, I'm really inspired by him. Now, he has an event going on this weekend. When is it, Chris?
May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, Memorial Day weekend.
Tell our audience a little something about what they can expect.
Well, this is the first of its kind in New Jersey. It's Hope Fest 2015. It's a recovery rally and music festival, and we're partnering with John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. And there's a lot of acts that are going to happen that are going to be beautiful. The Rockers in Recovery is another organization that provides music for, and also they inspire people to get into treatment and help find people treatment. But they've partnered with us to actually do this festival. Bubba Mac Blues Band.
Fantastic.
Because music is a form of self-expression.
That's right.
You know, art is a form of self-expression. And these are some of the things that we can do in sobriety and in recovery and still stay clean and have fun.
How many artists do you have over the 2 days?
Well, we have about 15 different bands. We're going to have a camp out. We're going to be camping. We have campsites available.
Really?
We have RV sites available.
Is that all on your property?
Yes, it's all
Fantastic.
at 600 South Odessa Avenue. We're going to be providing food.
Is there
But what-
tickets to that? How do if I want to
Yes.
go on there? It's on your
you
website.
can go
How do I get a
to,
ticket?
you can actually go to hopefest.camp.
Fantastic.
Hopefest.camp. I'll put that on the website.
Hopefest.camp, and you can see our whole lineup there. But I think the biggest thing about this recovery rally for New Jersey is that it's the first of its kind, and we're going to be promoting a lot of access to recovery funding, access
Beautiful.
to recovery treatment.
Beautiful,
I mean, we
Chris.
got guys like Michael DeLeon from Steered Straight, New Jersey YPR, which is Young People's in Recovery, Muriel Harrison, NCADD, which is National Council on Alcohol and Drug Dependency, Aaron Kaczarski, Rockers in Recovery, again, Parent to Parent, Tom and Kate from I Am Not Anonymous. A lot of these people are advocating for change
Yes.
for the substance abuse because the stigma has to go in order for us to get help.
I agree.
The
I agree.
stigma's got to go.
And Mr. G, maybe we could try to make that program out there.
Yeah,
because
we
I
spoke
think,
to Chris earlier about it.
we can hub some of those resources that Chris
Yes.
spoke about and put them on the website again to give some people some resources.
Well,
What
give
do
them
you
the
think? What do
description.
you think, Mr. G?
Give them the description of the information, man, so they can pull it up. Because we have 2.5 minutes to get off this air.
So everything that Chris has said is going to be hubbed together, and that's what we're doing here. We are your Google for recovery, and that's at www.recoveryliferadio.com. And any donations, because we are self-supporting, can be sent to Deliverance of Truth at P.O. Box 51, Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08401. Mr. G, the last words are on you, my man.
Listen, without question, I'm telling you, it's been a pleasure as well. Delight to have Chris here today, the CEO of Hope All Day. Listen, go out this weekend. Go out for those events. Those dates are once again what the dates are.
May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's Hope Fest Recovery Rally Music Camp Out. It's going to be a great time. Go to www.hopefest.camp.
Fantastic.
Get your tickets. Reserve a site. They're going quick. It's going to be a 3-day event. It's going to be a great time to advocate for recovery change.
God bless you,
Fantastic.
Chris. God bless you.
I would like to say to both of my guests today, thank you very much for being here. Rob, you're not even a guest. I don't know why I put you in there. In that
It's okay.
equation.
I'll be your guest, Mr.
But
G.
I'm so glad to have you here, Mr. Rob.
What's our time change, Mr. G?
Listen,
Let's hear it.
for my lady listening audience, we're no longer at 10:30. We're going to be on every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That will be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Listen, I'm so glad to have my listening audience with us. Chris, once again, thank you for being on the
Thank
show.
you. God bless, Gandhi.
God bless you too, my brother.
That's the Hope All Day
Hope
Foundation.
All Day Foundation.
I got some hope, guys. I don't know about you.
You have been listening to Mr. G and Mr. Rob with our special guest, the CEO of Hope All Day, Chris. Listen, get back with us next week.